In today's video, I'm going to be starting a brand new series on the channel where I'm going to be breaking down two very similar players in the NHL with similar play styles, similar in age, and trying to see which player is the better overall player in the NHL. In today's video, we have two of the brightest young stars in the entire NHL and two players who are currently helping to lead their team in their own respective playoff runs. These players are from the Colorado Avalanche, Cale Makar, and from the Vancouver Canucks, Quinn Hughes. So now it's time to break it down. Who's better, Cale Makar or Quinn Hughes? And like I said earlier, these players are very similar. Makar is 21 years old, grew up in Calgary, Alberta in Canada. Hughes, just 20 years old, grew up in Orlando, Florida. Both of these players played college hockey in the NCAA. Makar at UMass Amherst for 2 years, and Hughes also played at Michigan for 2 years. Makar was drafted in the first round, 4th overall, in 2017, and Hughes was drafted the next year in 2018, first round, 7th overall. Both of these guys are up for the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year this year and were the top 2 point scorers in terms of all rookies in the NHL this regular season. Makar had 12 goals, 38 assists for 50 points in 57 games, and Hughes had 8 goals and 45 assists for 53 points in 68 games. And so far in this playoffs through September 2nd, Makar has 15 points in 14 playoff games, and Hughes has 14 points in 15 playoff games. So in order to help me break down this matchup of elite players, I'm going to need to separate them into a couple different categories. These categories will be offense, defense, their impact on their team, and their clutch factor. So I'm going to start off with the offense category. Both of these players are excellent skaters and dynamic players. Oftentimes they seem to get even better with the puck on their stick and even faster with the puck on their stick. Both of these guys are great passers. They're power play weapons. I would say the slightly better shot would go to Cale Makar, and I think he scores a little bit more compared to Quinn Hughes. But the slightly better skating and speed would probably go to Quinn Hughes. He's one of the fastest skaters in the NHL, and it's just beautiful to watch on the ice. I think overall, you have to give the edge on offense to Cale Makar. He does have the higher points per game average, 0.88 points per game, to Hughes' 0.78 during the regular season, and he also has more points currently in the playoffs than Hughes does. But it's very close. Got to give the offense to Makar. Now for the defensive category, these players are obviously not known solely for their defense, but they are certainly capable in their own end. I don't think either is any more strong in their own end at this point in their career, but like I said, they are both definitely very capable in their own end and don't stand out as any kind of liability on the defensive end. I think in the defensive category, they will only get stronger as their careers move on, but for now I'm calling it a draw because they're very similar. Now for the impact on their team, I would say Makar is probably the 3rd best skater on his team behind Nate McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen. Hughes may be the 2nd best skater behind Elias Pettersson on his squad. And both of these guys play for a team with major star power throughout their lineup. Makar with McKinnon, Rantanen, Landeskog, Kadri, Girard, and Hughes with Pettersson, JT Miller, Horvat, Besser. Both of these guys play with a lot of other stars on their team, and it's very close, but I would have to say that Hughes has the bigger impact on his team just due to the fact that he is probably the 2nd best player on that team at this point. And now finally for the clutch factor. Both have proven to be big performers in the playoffs, especially so far in their careers. Makar, I would say, was slightly more clutch in college. He, of course, led his team to the national championship before they eventually lost in his final year there. And Hughes' Michigan team did not have quite the success that Makar's UMass team had in college. And I think that is the tiebreaker for me, as these guys are just so similar in terms of their clutch factor. So I would have to say that Cale Makar is slightly more clutch to this point than Hughes. So in conclusion, who is the better player currently? I'd have to say Cale Makar. These guys are extremely close in pretty much every category, and I'm excited to continue to watch these guys as they get better and better throughout their careers. But for now, I have to say Makar is the better player. And I think both of these guys will end up winning Norris trophies during their careers for best defenseman in the league. And I'm excited to see who gets it first, because I think that they will both get it, like I said earlier, at some point. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please remember to like and subscribe, and comment down below who you want to see me compare next. And comment down below if you enjoyed this first episode of this series, as I am excited to get this started.